2 Chronicles 26, 4-5. He did right in the sight of the Lord according to all that his father Amaziah had done. He had continued to seek God in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding through the vision of God. And as long as he sought the Lord, God prospered him. 2 Chronicles 26:16. But when he became strong, his heart was so proud that he acted corruptly and was unfaithful to the Lord his God, for he entered the temple of the Lord to burn incense on the altar of incense. If you are joining us in reading this 90-day reading plan, today's reading is 2 Chronicles 26, and I encourage you to read that passage. Success has the possibility of leading someone to become prideful and unrepentant. In the early church, the church fathers talked about the Greek word logismos. This word basically means how or what you think. Many times it is used negatively because we tend to think in ways that we shouldn't. Pride is one of the ways that we think because we ascribe to ourselves power and majesty which is not ours to ascribe. There are all sorts of examples today that we can see people who have gained a little bit of power or a little fame. They begin to believe their own public relations. They begin to think that they don't have to follow rules that everyone else has to follow. As a non-Levite, Uzziah was not allowed to burn incense in the temple. That was reserved for a certain group of Levites that were direct descendants of Aaron. As a matter of fact, in Leviticus 10, 2 of Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, offered incense in a way that was not prescribed. They were immediately judged by God and killed. In the Old Testament, there were very strict laws and rules about who could do what in the worship of God. Even though Uzziah was warned not to burn incense, he was judged when he proceeded to do it anyway. He became a leper, and because of this, he had to live outside of the population because leprosy is a very communicable disease. In the New Testament, we don't have specific rules about worship. We certainly do have tradition, and we know the ways that the early church worshipped. But there is no defined worship as that which is in the Old Testament. But that doesn't mean that we can do anything we want. Everything we do in worship must be God-honoring. Everything we do in worship must be consistent with what is known and prescribed in the New Testament. Everything we do in worship reflects our relationship with God. If we ignore that which we know to be true and right, we will only stand in judgment.